One of the most quietly devastating design choices in Red Dead Redemption 2 is how the game uses Arthur Morgan's journal as a living record of his moral and emotional collapse, and later, his self-awareness. At first glance, the journal looks like a simple collectible tracker or story recap, but it's actually one of the most intimate storytelling devices Rockstar has ever used. It doesn't just record what Arthur does, it records how he feels about it. And those feelings evolve in real time depending on his health, honor, and proximity to the end of his life. Early in the game, Arthur's journal entries are confident and dismissive. His handwriting is rough, the sketches are aggressive, and his tone reflects someone who sees the world in simple terms: survival, loyalty, and money. He writes about camp life, towns, and people with a kind of hardened sarcasm. Even when he sketches beautiful landscapes, there's a sense that he's passing through them, rather than belonging to them. This aligns with Arthur's role early on as Dutch's enforcer, someone who acts first and reflects later. As the story progresses and Arthur contracts tuberculosis, the journal begins to change in ways the game never explicitly points out. His handwriting becomes shakier, his observations grow more detailed, and the entries shift from external descriptions to internal questioning. Arthur starts writing less about what he did and more about what it meant. He reflects on people he's hurt, on the lies Dutch tells, and on whether the life he's lived has been worth the cost. Importantly, these changes aren't locked to specific cutscenes. They're gradual, happening as Arthur weakens, making the journal feel like a genuine artifact rather than a scripted diary.
Who's a good horse?
Honor plays a crucial role here. With high honor, Arthur's journal becomes almost confessional. He sketches people with care, writes about hope for others even when he knows there's none for himself, and openly questions whether redemption is possible. With low honor, the entries remain bitter and fatalistic, focused on betrayal, inevitability, and resentment. The journal doesn't judge the player, it reflects them. It's one of the few systems in the game that responds emotionally rather than mechanically to player choice. What makes the journal especially powerful is that it outlives Arthur. After his death, John Marston continues writing in the same book. But the tone is different. John's entries are simpler, more practical, and less introspective. He sketches with less detail, writes with more distance. This contrast reinforces the idea that Arthur's journey was uniquely introspective. He was a man forced to confront himself fully before the end. John, by comparison, survives without ever fully understanding what Arthur did for him. The journal turns memory into something fragile and personal. It isn't a heroic record of outlaw exploits. It's a man trying to make sense of his life while knowing he doesn't have much of it left. And because the player can open it at any time, Red Dead Redemption 2 gives you something rare. A way to watch a character slowly become honest with himself, one page at a time. And that's why the journal matters so much. It's the only place where Arthur is completely unguarded. No bravado, no gun, no role to play. By the time his story ends, the journal doesn't feel like a gameplay feature anymore. It feels like evidence that Arthur Morgan existed,